All right, welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Today I have a very special guest. Me and this guy go back a very long way. Welcome to the podcast, my friend EK.
Hello. What's up?
You know what's crazy? It's crazy when you have friends that you've known for like 20 years and you only know them as their nickname. Like I have a lot of people from New York. I still don't know their full names or the last names. And today is the first time I looked up, or yesterday I looked up your full name.
Oh, you never knew it?
The last name. No, and I just know you as EK. And I want to keep it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's like more like an EK. Like a creature. He's an EK.
An EK.
As opposed to Eric doesn't fit me.
But we have so many friends who have nicknames, and that's all we know them as their whole life. You know what I mean?
Word.
Like I guess I know Rat Bones is his real name. Maybe I don't know Rat Bones.
I just saw him a few years ago recently, and I don't remember his whole name either.
Yes. Anyway, shout out to Rat Bones. You know, it's our friends. Our friends have these nicknames, and like we really know their real fucking birth names.
That's some like straight up New York hardcore stilo too, kind of. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's got like it's a name. It's like Gavin Byrne. So and so, like the last name of the band would be like the last name and shit. It's so
true.
Cool.
Okay, so EK, how are you? Nice to see you.
I'm very well, thank you, Toby. How are you?
Good. Welcome to California.
Thanks for having me on your podcast and welcoming to California. It's been 1 year I've been here.
Yeah. Big move, leaving the East Coast to the West Coast. I did it. You know, it was. I didn't want to come here. I was just telling Derek earlier that my wife kind of dragged me here kicking and screaming in 2001. But
really?
Once I got it, I was like, it's fucking the best kept
secret.
You
love it here, man.
I love it. Before that, I was like, couldn't see beyond the buildings. I was like, fuck the West Coast.
Yep.
You can go by there on tour and play some shows. You
remember from touring here.
But like living here, I never saw myself. But now I'm never going back to the winter.
I just said when I got older that I would like to move to Cali, like just one way or another, just because I'm older and I'm different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I did. I said,
how old are you now?
I am 50.
Me too.
50.
Yeah, we both 1970, right?
Yep, 1970. Word to the big bird.
So yeah, this year I turned 50 in the COVID lockdown. Yeah,
oh, it's awesome. Yeah, strong work.
And Derek Green's here from Sepultura, and he's turning 50 in January, so he's still in the 40s.
Oh, January. When's your birthday? January what?
January 20th.
Oh, I'm 13th.
Yeah. So then you'd be 51. So you're older than me.
It's coming up. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
50 and a half.
Okay.
Like when you're a little kid, I'm 6 and a half.
My son says that shit now. He's 17 and a half.
Oh, right. That's funny.
All right, so let's go back to Boston. So you were born in Massachusetts like myself. I was born in Taunton, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I just recently found that out.
I just found out your last name.
That was
So what part of Massachusetts were you born?
Boston proper.
Okay.
A neighborhood called Jamaica Plain.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far was that from Taunton, you think?
Probably a good 30 minutes, 35 minutes maybe.
Okay, and Brockton was kind of in the mix there too,
Brockton
right?
was the same thing. There's Brockton, I think Taunton, and some other towns. I don't know anything outside of Boston.
I used to go to the Brockton Mall and shit with my grandparents.
Yeah, remember that? That was huge.
That was like the big thing out there.
And I had these two little brothers out there that I met when I was older, and they both went to Brockton High. It's like 5,000 students in that high school or something. It's crazy, yeah.
So your brothers and sisters?
I have a sister that is a really, really good egg. She flew to Boston recently because we had a family death. So she's taking care of all that and GoFundMe. It's really, really good. She's taking the bull by the horns. And I randomly enough have two little brothers that I'm Cape Verdean. And they're full Cape Verdean. And
Wow.
I met them later in life, like 2021. It was really, really weird. I'm like, holy, I guess I'm the oldest. It's bizarre. They're nice, though.
You didn't know you had brothers till later on?
Yep. Because it was same dad, different mom.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was like, wow, this is insane. You know what? And then we talk here and there, too, but we're not even super close or anything. It's just one of those things, like, too little, too late.
You still have a strong Boston accent like my mom, man.
Oh, do I?
Yeah,
oh, no. Don't say that. I hate it.
I don't hate it. I like it. It brings back memories.
Your mom got one, too? My mother, too. She's like, effing loser. Look at her over there, douche, big D bag, douchebag.
My mom has that same old shit.
Really? She's still in Taunton.
She lives here, man, with all of us.
Oh, you did say that, yeah.
She's on the valley with my brothers, yeah.
When I was over here last, you did say that. Yep.
But so how was it growing up in Boston?
It was really, really cool for the most part because the neighborhood is like, it's more like working class, / whatever. Like it wasn't like no bougie thing by any means. It was like a real kind of tough a little bit. And then once I started playing drums, I just wanted to do it for real, like on a different level. Hence, leaving Straw Dogs and Wrecking Crew going to do Warzone. Like I just didn't want to do just Boston hardcore or just whatever. Not that that's bad. I just wanted New York hardcore was on the biggest stage there is.
Yeah. So how old were you when you started playing drums?
9.
So you started playing. What grade would that be? That'd be like a middle school.
3rd grade, I think.
Oh, 3rd grade, yeah.
3rd or 4th.
And what got you into that?
Strangely enough, just hearing my parents would leave the house when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, I heard music in a different way. Like I heard drums over everything. It sounds really bizarre and corny, but they were louder than everything. And I was like, why is that kind of weird? And so I asked her for a drum set, and she gave me a practice pad and drumsticks. And then I just kind of took it from there.
So you had no just different types of music you were hearing around the house and stuff?
Yeah. Like my mom has a crazy broad-based musical taste, and I listen to the coolest stuff, man. Everything from Ohio players to Earth, Wind & Fire to like Slave to like, what's it called? David Bowie.
Yeah.
So like the full gamut, the full music, really cool.
And how were you growing up? Like, how were you in school?
I randomly enough, I exceeded academically. I went from the 6th grade to the I had that 6th grade. I went to visit my family in New York City in Staten Island, and they're like, "Hey, you're pretty cool. Want to stay for the school year?" I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" So Catholic school, like a burgundy tie, some gray pants, and some Tommy Can suede shoes. Just like Jamie, and I did that for a year. That was interesting. Then I went back to Boston in 8th grade. So I went 6th grade to 8th grade.
Okay.
To 9th grade, and then by the time it came around to things, I had enough credits to leave, so I left and went to Warzone. 1987.
So you graduated.
Yeah, but not. I didn't have a formal graduation.
Okay.
Just because, I didn't. I wanted to go to New York, but I got a diploma and all that.
So how old were you went to New York? Like 17?
17, just about to be 18. I want to say is November, December of 87.
Yeah.
Right around there. I remember it was cold. It was freezing, man.
Yeah, I moved to New York in 88 when I was 18.
Oh, that's right. You
I
did?
Graduated too. Yeah.
No, wait. So it was from D.C.?
Maryland, yeah.
Maryland, because everyone, I was like, oh, they're like, this kid's mad cool. I was like, he's from D.C., right? I see him at WoW all the time when we have the same haircut.
Well, that's where I met. We'll fast forward and go back. But yeah, I met you at when Warzone played the Wust.
The Wust, that's right.
Yeah, that's when I met you guys.
I was a hot mess, man.
Guys. Yeah,
I was like guzzling, like whatever, forget about it. But I was a really hot mess, man. That place is huge.
Yeah. It was a great show.
And who was that? Two Worlds Collide?
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to Worlds Collide.
I remember those dudes. Nice guys.
I just posted a flyer of them today, actually.
Really? They were good.
Yeah. So that's when I met you then.
Yep.
Back to Rewind. Okay, so what was the band before Warzone? Was it Straw Dogs?
Yeah, Straw Dogs. They were
I saw you guys play back in the day, too.
Yeah, they just turned into Straw Dogs when I got in the band. Okay. The drummer, Bones, died in a car accident. And then people around town are like, hey, so-and-so's looking for you. And I was like, those guys in the band. I was like, no, why would they look for me? And they found me. And then we just kind of killed it. Like, actually, in that band, in Wrecking Crew, I learned how to play, like, hardcore beat. Like... You know what I mean? I couldn't really do it. I did it, but it was like kind of weird and stuff. But those two bands, man, I rehearsed so much, like 6 times a week with both bands.
Yeah, you probably played with Sycamore with Wrecking Crew, right?
Did I? No, we played.
Okay.
Actually, Wrecking Crew, we played CBs. It was, I want to say, Side by Side, Youth of Today, Warzone, and one more band than us. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Can you? Hindsight is insane.
Lineup. Yeah.
I know.
Straw Dogs were sick too. They're underrated. People don't really talk about them much.
Yeah,
I got to see them back then.
They recorded some cool stuff, man. I really liked it. It was like rock and roll, but not really post hardcore rock. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just its own animal. You know what I mean?
So who got you into like the punk rock stuff?
Actually, my friend Glenn Dudley. We've been friends since we were 5 years old, and I was like, trying to get my breakdance on, doing graffiti, like.
I was going to ask you if you did that.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time. I loved it. I mean, I wasn't that good at breakdancing, but I had a good time though anyway.
Yeah. And what was your graffiti name?
Spanky.
Sick.
Spanky, rocking you live in '85. What?
So graffiti and breakdance you went to first before punk.
And then my friend Glenn, he was actually the singer in Wrecking Crew. We've been friends forever, mom's friends, and he used to babysit us and stuff. And he's like, what are you doing that stuff for? That's kind of corny. Why don't you just come like check this out? And so I listened to like U2, with all old U2, and then some Cure.
Sick.
And then I started to get sold. I'm like, wait a minute. And he's like, why don't you play in this band with us? Play in this band with us. I was in some band, the Eels, that were like random older dudes. And so I was like, okay. And I went and tried out with Wrecking Crew, and it was awesome. Sick. Cool. Yeah.
So that's your first like hardcore band, yeah.
Yeah, other than pretty much. There was 2 bands before that. The Miracle Boy when we were 13. That was the Jordan Knight one. That was pretty funny.
All right, let's get back. So that was with Jordan Knight from New Kids.
Yeah. He can actually sing and play guitar, believe it or not.
And what kind of music was that?
That's just rock and roll, like 13-year-old kid rock and roll.
So how many years is that before New Kids on the Block, you think?
Many years. Years. Because those didn't come to fruition until later, like when they were like older, teenagers.
So you were friends with him growing up too?
Yeah. His whole family's amazing. Grew up with Donnie, Mark, and all them too. They're from the next town over.
Yeah, what town is that they're from?
Dorchester.
That's right.
We went to middle school, grade school, middle school together. And then after 8th grade, people just kind of separated and stuff like that.
Is that how you played on the... This one's for the children?
Oh yeah, that was I think, randomly enough, it wasn't back then. It was in between, I want to say Signal and Warzone somehow. I was back in Boston, just visiting or whatever like that. And I happened to run into all those dudes on like Mass Ave, and I had a drumstick bag in my hand. It was kind of weird. And they're like, yo, what are you doing? Maybe, we got this thing. We think you should probably do it. And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking, I'm so punk rock. F you, I don't want to do that. I'm some hard rock. You know what I mean? Like, what I look like in that band. So what happened was, I slept on it. I didn't call Jordan for like 2 weeks. And then I called him. He's like, yeah, we got a drummer, but you want to come, do a session or whatever. And I just did. I just went and did that, knocked it out. Like in between, I probably 20 maybe? Okay. It was in between the Bad Warzone record and Sick of It All.
Wow. So that song came out on one of the records?
Oh, yeah. It was around. I used to hear it on the radio and be like bugging out.
Holy shit.
Out, man. I could have actually, toured with them and been the drummer, but I was just like, I'm too cool for school, man.
You're too punk.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, don't even look at me. Don't look at me. I'm so hard rock.
So what was your goals in high school like before music?
I like sports. As a baseball, football, basketball I wasn't so good at, but I was a good quarterback and a good pitcher to throw heat. And that, weirdly enough, in hindsight, kept me in school, like for that that amount of time, because I loved really playing sports and everything like that. And I liked science and stuff like that. I'm really fascinated with that, hence my sci-fi dork background.
Yeah, Star Wars Knuckles.
Yeah, that would be that.
So, all right, so you leave Boston when you graduate, and you go to New York, and you're in Warzone. Basically.
Yeah, well, randomly enough, I missed the audition. I had all like Kristen Brady, all the Oi girls drive me down there, my drums in the trunk. It's just like go for broke, you know what I mean? To get there, Baby's like, yo, man, it's like 2 hours ago, bro. It's like pouring rain. I'm like, great. And second of all, I had $30 in my pocket. That was it. No one lent me money, so I sold my Cherry Reds for $30.
Damn.
Yeah, but he goes, hey, why don't you stay in Brooklyn at this guy Ray's house, the Roadies or whatever. They were like Warzone Roadies, Frank LaRock, and went and did that. And then I think he goes next Wednesday, so it was like Thursday, so it was like 6 days later. And then I went in and killed it, just like knocked it the fuck out.
And how did you get that audition?
Through Saab, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I love me Saab so much. He was visiting Boston. Like when you skin it, like you travel in cities and it's just fun. You're like, yeah, let's stay at my house or whatever. So he was there, and he was saying that it came like, I don't know what happened, but he's like, you play in the band? I was like,
came through the wire before the internet, before all that.
Dude, yeah, and he goes, Luke's leaving the band. You should go try out. And I was like, it didn't even make any sense. I had a light bulb, and I was like, okay, you know what? So he gave me Ray B's number, right? I call Ray B's, and I'm like, yo, I want to come try with you guys. And he's like, all right, cool, we'll do this. And I was still in the Straw Dogs. Okay. So it was like bizarre, but I just wanted, like I said, do it on the biggest stage, New York Hardcore.
Yeah. So
yeah, then that was that. So I hooked it up, and then I called Ray, and I went down there, and hence the story, I, did all that crap, missed the audition, but then I did really well when I actually got in there.
And so you're 20, how old are you then, like 18 or 19?
18, yeah. I think it was either, like I said, moved the December of 87 or January of 88. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was one of those.
I was just 17.
Life was coming down hard on me.
So good.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Rabies.
Oh, yes, 17.
So you get the Warzone gig. Warzone's pretty, what year would that be? That'd be 88, 89?
It was 88. It was after Don't Forget the Struggle, Don't Forget the Streets. Right. And they had just got signed to Caroline.
Yep.
And I'm like, whoop, good decision. Like on a record label, it's part of Virgin or whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you stoked.
And all of a sudden, we're doing all this pre-pro for a full length, for Open Your Eyes, for a long time, like a few months. And then we went into this studio is actually awesome. It's called Campo Cultural Center. Okay. It's off of the Bowery. They did Quickness there. They do a lot of sick albums in there. It was like I was down in this track. I'm looking at Dr. No produced it from the Bad Brains, and I'm looking at him in the thing, and I'm like, what? They're like, do this, do that, hit it backwards, do that. I'm like, okay, but it was so weird because I was just in the room by myself looking at him on a monitor.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh, it was kind of cool, yeah.
That's crazy. A little pressure right there, huh?
Yeah, a lot. I had to get my swag on for that one. So like, I'm the shit.
So were people stoked for you back home? Like, yo, you went to New York, you got in Warzone, like.
They were stoked, man. Yeah. Like, some people weren't supportive, but that's just the way that goes. 10% of people ain't gonna like you anyway in society. That's just by default. But they were really happy for me. They were like sending me pictures of the record. Like, like the internet wasn't, you know what I mean? So sending me pictures of the record and being like, I'm so proud of you, I'm so happy for you and stuff like that. And I was like, damn, I just did an album, 18 years old. Not bad.
It's amazing. Yeah,
I gave myself a lot of credit. I was like, that's so neat.
Yeah. So how long were you in the band before you guys made a record? You toured and played. You were still playing the Don't Forget the Struggle songs.
Yeah, we were playing those too. I obviously had a tryout, so I did all those songs pretty much. Really cool. I mean, Luke was different, but it sounded pretty cool anyway. That turned into maybe 4 or 5 months before we started doing pre-pro for Open Your Eyes.
Yeah.
So getting tight. We played the New Music Seminar. It was crazy. It was
the
so
New
violent.
Seminar.
Remember the Seminar D?
What venue was that at? You remember?
Irving Plaza.
Yeah.
Yep. People just diving everywhere. I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. My inside voice is feeling really, really good this time.
So shows were great. You playing with them, and then you guys make the record. Then when that record was out, I think that record was well responded to. If I remember right.
Yeah,
you were stoked on that. Yeah,
oh, definitely. It was more positive than negative.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And actually, we tried to do a tour on it. The reason why I say tried because it didn't last long.
The tour didn't last.
Yeah, no, not really, man. Everyone it was weird. You know, when you tour, you get to know people. This was on some immediate
You're forced
shit.
to know each other.
Everyone was like, yeah, you have to, and everyone's just immediately the week later just snapping on each other. You fucking dack, you suck, you douchebag. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Made it to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then it all disbanded.
Damn, for like the first tour,
the
lineup. Yeah,
I mean, there was some good shows too.
I'm sure.
We played in Canada, one of the early shows, and my drum tech left all my cymbals there, all of them, just left them there. So each show that we're playing, I have to ask the drummers, "Hey, can I use your cymbals? Can I use your cymbals?" I mean, Sammy talking about the other day. That's like asking the drummer to use his furniture or some shit.
Yeah,
you know,
it's weird.
You know what I mean?
Like sleep in his bed or something.
Yeah, some bizarre shit like that. So that was like, a bum out every show. I'm like, can I use it? We played a show in Chicago that ended up getting canceled because of underage people. And then we played, it's called the Hell House. It was like a squat. And I played the whole set with Toms. The whole set. Yeah, people just like, that's where I met Chris Carver there, actually. Wow. Everyone's diving, going backflips and wheelie. Oh, sick, Toby. It was sick.
Wow, that was probably 89 then.
Yeah, probably early 89 maybe.
I definitely left a bunch of pieces to drums across the country too. Sorry, Armand. That was a shitty roadie. I left some cymbal stands behind. And
so you kept going with Sigma when I left the band, right? You kept going with them?
Yeah, because my first show was 1994 in H2O.
Oh, yeah. So I was going to ask, when did it start?
Yeah.
You remember we talking about it on tour bus with Pete? Let's call it water. And we crack straight edge, you drink wine on my mother's wedding, stab me in the back.
Yeah, totally.
Sick,
it was just going to be a joke band, just being super straight, super pure.
Yeah,
just being so extreme, but
just like a random tour band you make up, and it came to fruition. Look at this dude.
Tour and shit. Look
at this motherfucker, man. Yeah, when you came back, you grabbed the bull by the horns. I mean, you got Max in the band for a minute, right? The drummer.
Yeah, Max Capshaw
played that when I seen your first show at Coney Island, a second show.
First 7-inch, he was on the first 7-inch. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
First demos.
Yeah. He I don't know him that well, but he seems
It's crazy. Max Capshaw. I met him through Sick of It All guys.
He's one of the only ones that filled in with Sick of It All besides me.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
He's in the video, Injustice System.
Yeah,
that's him.
So how long did the Warzone thing last for you?
Let me see. It's hard to figure it out in hindsight. Probably a couple, 3 or 4 years maybe.
Yeah,
it's tough to say because then we did the Bad Metal record in '89. Hello, first time in the click track, bum out.
What was that album called again?
It's just was self-titled.
That's right.
Bullet Holes.
That's right.
Yeah, the Omen drew this graffiti thing like that.
It's a dope logo.
Yeah, and that, dude, all those songs initially were really hard altercation songs. And they were boom, and then cutting in half.
Was
and
Dance Hard or Die on there?
No, that was not Open Your Eyes. Dance Hard or Die.
Yeah.
And they were really good songs. And all of a sudden, Natalie, our manager, that was Jimmy's old girlfriend, got a producer, it's a guy, Roger Greenwald, that was from Boston and from not from Boston, but into Berkeley. So he had that whole thing or whatever. And we did that record, man. It just turned into crap. He cut everything in half. He made it all sound like the way it sounded when it came out. There's only Hold On's a good song. That's the only good song.
Yeah. That came out in 90?
89.
89. Wow.
Yeah, 89, yeah.
So then after that record, it kind of got...
Yeah, we thought we were gonna blow up from it. We were like, oh, listen to this. I'm sending it to In Effect guys. I'm sending it to all these label guys. They're like, yo, this is gonna blow up. Listen to this. It's so hard, man. It was freaking amazing.
Everybody's excited about it.
Yeah, really excited. Except the people we mailed it to. Swing and a miss. I love you, but
so that wasn't really accepted that when it came out.
Yeah, it wasn't. Randomly enough, I get DMs to this day saying people love that record.
Sure, man.
Randomly,
sure.
I can't understand.
The record I hate the most in my band, people love it now.
Really?
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
It's crazy, man.
Man, and the only thing for me that was good for in terms of being productive was my first time playing with a click track. So that way I get it out of the way and I'm not young and everything. So when I do stuff now, it's just pretty.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's hard for some people to get to.
Some drummers can't even play with it. It's tough, man. It always feels like you're slowing down, and it's weird. But it's still, I did it though, even though it sounded like a programmed drum machine.
So those 2 albums you're on, and then that was a wrap after that.
Yeah, then that was it, and then me and Ray kind of get into it. R.I.P. I love you, miss you, and I ended up bouncing. And then I was working at Two Boots. Gee, you remember Two Boots?
Man. Two Boots.
Me and Jay from White Zombie worked together, delivering pizza.
Avenue A, man.
Yeah, first I was making them, and they were like, No. They're like, dude, we like you. Do you want us to do work? You can deliver them. You can't make them. So I was delivering with them this big ass metal like square thing on top of a bike, just like bugging out. Like this tattoo, remember, it was just a chain in the skull.
Yeah.
So I had the chain and block. People were like, that's dope. I like that shit. I see you. It's kind of crazy. It's crazy. Oh. But
so two boots.
Yeah, I'm working there, and then I'm doing random things just to keep, as a musician, keep your chops going, like in between gigs or whatever. So I did this Karen Black, which is really neat.
That's cool.
And then this band Execution Style that my friend Kevin was in. He's from King of Kings, a Gaffin band, and he ended up getting booed or something. So he started this rocking, like a real good rock, like I can't even explain. It was good rock and roll song to me, like almost like derivative of classic rock a little bit, but not really. Oh my God, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. And then so I'm doing those two bands. And then I think a project, the third, I can't remember. I didn't Warrior Soul, something like that.
Warrior Soul, the band?
Yeah. They were signed. And then Sammy did it before me. Then I did it after him. And we actually at, what do you call it? What's the hardcore guy that does all the bands? Donnie Fury.
Donnie Fury, yeah.
Yeah. They're doing like pre-production and shit like that. And then the drummer, Corey, started playing drums. He's like this. I'm like, nah. So I bounced. So, and then for some reason, Eddie Jr., Eddie Cohen. Knuckle neck. Love you, Eddie.
Eddie Cohen.
Crazy. I love you. Crazy in his back of doorknobs. Shout out. He was like, yo, okay. Like, we were getting already close because he filled in some Warzone shows playing bass.
Okay.
Because Omen, like, left, and then the new guy, Bob, didn't come until after. It was like
was he in Psycho Sluts from Hell at the time?
No, he did that after.
Okay.
We were both, he goes, hey, let's do this Sick of It All thing. Do you think you might want to play with them? They're kind of like a big band with it. I was like, yeah, my thinking was I'm such a donkey. I was like, I've been Warzone, Lower East Side Skins. I was like, I didn't take it seriously. So I tried. I listened to the record, went in and fucking falling down the stairs, dude. It was so bad. I was terrible.
Damn.
And I asked the people were like, yo, what's going on? Do you want to try it again? We'll do that with you, because they were talking about getting PD and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
They started putting names in. I started taking it seriously. So I listened to it for real, and then went in, and it was awesome. People give me this look like what it's supposed to sound like. Just
awesome.
toms and like disillusion, and it was just, oh my God, I was hitting so hard. And they're like, okay, you want to do it?
Yeah.
So me and Eddie were in.
And I was with him during that time. That's We Stand Alone era.
That's right. Damn, that's a really good record.
Yeah.
Not even pat myself on the backside, but a little bit, because that sounds really good for the time.
Yeah, it's a great record.
Really, really good record.
And Rewind. Oh, then the first tour was at New Titans.
Didn't you do a few of them before us though?
A bunch.
Maybe
Yeah.
I can't remember. We went to, I think we were AF for Canada.
Yeah,
and did
that
like
run.
a
Great run.
East Coast. That was fun.
Yep.
And then we did another little tour, but then we did New Titans.
So
Got the tour bus. Check me out.
Yeah, so for the listeners, New Titans on the Blocks was Sick of It All, Sepultura, Sacred Reich, and Napalm Death. And
we were first of four.
First of four.
Yep.
It was like one of the first kind of crossover tours that Sick of It All did, I think. It
Yeah.
was 91, man. It had to be.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they did any metal tours. 91, right?
Yeah, 91.
Came out in 91.
Yeah, you're right.
it's
Yeah, I was 21 years old.
So like that was like the first New York hardcore band to go like on like a metal tour.
Yeah, man. Remember
And
how
you guys held your own on there, man.
I don't thank you. I think we did a
Yeah.
good job. Dude, that tour, for some reason, man, when I was in that band, we were like confident as fuck. Like we were on stage, I was like, it was just like, aside from the Allentown one. But anyways,
Crazy, man, yeah.
it was like insane, dude. Like it was like, I never felt so confident in my life being behind the drums when I was sick of it all. I love those guys. And it was a great
You were
time.
21.
Yep, 21.
Fuck.
A couple years. Didn't last long. Maybe 3-4 years, 2-3. I can't remember.
Yeah, but the tours was fun. They sharing the tour bus with Napalm Death.
That was insane.
We didn't know what
dude.
to expect because I didn't really know those guys. It was some different like.
Yeah, we were
style
all
of
like
music.
skimming rocks before we put a toe in style. Like, everyone was like, oh, okay. Because literally sharing a bus with them.
The strangers.
Like
yeah,
a random, the drummer, they had the hot rock hair and the nose ring. Like, fuck that kid. Fucking pussy. Like that. We were so hardcore.
It was like two different like styles of music together.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
But then
it went over well. Like Sick of It All one.
Dude, we got along with them so good, man.
Sick of It All won over the crowd every night. It was a new audience for them.
Yeah, I remember maybe the Milwaukee Metal Fest. I think that was kind of weird.
Of course.
They were quiet and just looking at us and shit. Like, what? They didn't know what to expect.
Of course.
But all the rest of the shows, we killed it pretty much.
Yeah.
Like
I think that put
Hollywood
Sick of It All
Palladium.
Sick of It All put Sick of It All on a different level and a different platform. All the metal bands actually saw that this could work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That like
Yes.
a New York hardcore band could play with this type of music and it works together well.
It worked really, really well.
And I think that Sick of It All was actually the first band to do that. And I think it may open the doors for a lot of bands
I agree.
to play with other metal bands because like New York has like this stigma of like this it is like a tough, harder scene.
Yeah, we took one for the team,
like
basically.
Lower East Side, just all the New York CBG was a whole New York hardcore thing.
Word.
And so for like that, those bands that take a chance and bring Sick of It All on, and it went really well.
Yeah,
it was really awesome.
Because I remember like they were talking. We were talking. Me, Pete, and Lou were talking about a tour. Then they were like, they had a syllabus like of like several tour, and I was like, "There's no way we're doing that tour." They're like, "Yo, we'll leave in like a week." I had to get a passport, which I never did, and so we did. All of a sudden, we're on a damn tour bus. Like the show, I think did they play the Ritz or something like that? But we didn't play that show or something. Yeah, and they were giving us tour jackets and shit. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, it's like, oh my god, this is so
I think that was the Arise tour, maybe for.
Yeah, it was Arise.
Yeah, Arise.
Yep. I was trying to think of that earlier. It was definitely Arise. Oh, they killed it. What a great band.
I'm having Barney on my podcast this week, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing great, man.
Oh,
I run into him from time to time.
I love him.
Yeah,
Is he in the States now?
No, I just do like a Zoom thing with him.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
he's so cool. EK Flippy Deppy.
Yeah.
We used to have some crazy jokes, man. Oh, just like straight up tour shit.
What's crazy about them is back then I didn't really listen to them or know anything about them.
Neither did I.
But when I found out throughout these years that like he's been a vegetarian his whole life, he's super political and positive.
Oh, very political, man.
Things for changing the world. Like you don't think about that when you hear the.
Yeah, he's a Star Wars guy too. He read like all the Star Wars books, and we would talk forever.
He's a smart cat, man.
Yeah, driving across Texas because that takes 6 years. So we'd be just talking and having fun. You know what I mean? Having a good time. I like him a lot. Even with Shane. Shane's a good egg too. Yeah.
Do we have some riots on that tour? Or that was later on? Maybe
no, that was it was the Allentown one.
Yeah, that was crazy.
All those racist fucks.
Yeah, there was kids outside like. We were filming this shit for Rich. We were filming something, right?
Yeah, you were, yeah. Because we didn't, the Sepultura and Napalm Death, they didn't really know us yet.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden we're playing the show and open for them. I think Biohazard would play too. Because I remember seeing everyone was looking at Biohazard and they were like, all those guys were like Max and I'm like, and then he started putting their name out there. And that kind of helped them get a step up, Biohazard, because they were like, look at this, 3 singers, long hair, people jumping around.
Man, yeah.
I've seen everyone watching them be like, oh shit. But then what happened with us, we went on and I was like a mess anyway. It's just a long story. But we started and I look over, someone's like Kyling us. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
It was crazy.
And then he says some shit. Lou's like, I'm not the asshole that has to live in this one-horse town. I was like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I turn around. Pete's putting his guitar like on the stand and just dove. And Lou dove in it. We're just like, just beating the shit out of each other.
Because outside we were filming, like, we were documenting the whole tour.
Yeah.
And as we're filming, people going, yelling, saying racist things into my camera. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was
like,
fucking
these people
bum
waiting
out.
in line to come in this show.
Oh, it was such a buzzkill, dude.
It was bugged out, man.
And then someone did jalapeno mace or whatever. Like, so it was in my eyes, my mouth. I remember running up the stairs, and I didn't know Paulo yet, and he gave me this gallon of milk. I like slapped it out of his hand and put my arm to the floor. He's like, already then, buddy.
Oh, Paulo from Sepultura.
Yeah, Paulo, yeah.
You're supposed to put milk in your eyes, I think, right?
Yeah, that's what in hindsight, but he was a nice guy. I was like, I'm sorry, man. He's like, you're crazy.
And that was like one of the first that was like one of the first shows of the tour. One of the, like,
it was, yeah, because we did, that was one of the East Coast ones. I don't think it was the second or the third, but it was bad. I'm glad we didn't finish the set.
And then you're in the Live in NYC video in 91.
Yep.
That's a classic. So people listening, there's the Live in NYC video by In Effect Records. It's Sick of It All.
He's trying to re-release that, I think.
Yeah, Howie. Shout out to Howie Abrams.
Yep,
Sick of It All, Agnostic Front, Gorilla Biscuits.
Who else? It was essentially what they used to call the Super Bowls of hardcore. Now they're like Black and Blue, whatever.
The doc, it's Sick of It All, Agnostic Front, Gorilla Biscuits.
Gorilla Biscuits. Those are the 3.
Those are the 3, yeah.
Who else?
And now I think it's in the video.
Super Touch, maybe. Like, it was good. It was like 3 bands before us.
Yeah. It was a great thing.
Oh my god,
it was a crazy show.
Good time, man.
Yeah, man.
That was another one of those confident things. I'm like, what?
So I was looking at the promo picture too with you and Eddie, and it's crazy to seeing that because that's like a rare moment.
I got that like fade that's not connected and like a goatee. Who goes goatees? I'm like, yeah, I'm strung.
But that's like a rare quick moment. Yeah, a lot of shit happened with that lineup real quick.
I
like
know.
That tour and then that 7-inch.
I always forget about the 7-inch because I'm like, I toured
that's an important part of Sick of It All's catalog.
Yep, I toured a lot with Sick of It All, and I always forget that I did a record with them. I'm so grateful. So cool.
So were you sober on that? You weren't sober on that at all?
Nope. The exact opposite.
Were you sober in Warzone?
No. More
drinking, like less crazy shit then?
Yeah, just everything and anything to make myself feel the way that I was feeling.
Yeah.
Anything, and then it got really bad with the heavy stuff. And Sick of It All. I still, in hindsight, feel bad. Like, I put those guys through shit. And they hung in there with me, man. They really did. They had my back.
And what year did that start for you? Like, really?
90. So
you weren't like that as a kid?
No, I met this girl. I don't know if you remember Megan, Derek. Megan, she was my girl. She passed away, and she was like, I was like kind of naive to the fact. She'd be like doing this, and I'm like, what's the matter with you? She's like, oh, I took some Valium. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't realize it was dinner time.
Yeah.
So and then that just it went so fast with me with that, like so fast.
It's so interesting because Mike Baton was just on there, and he told me how it went so fast with him.
Yeah.
He had it for a couple of days, and all of a sudden he was addicted.
Oh
for
my
3
God.
years. It's crazy.
Yeah,
how
people in the
powerful
neighborhood,
it
like
is.
I ran into Rachel, Harley's girl, whatever. They're like, okay, look at your eyes because it's dark, and they're like, oh, they're like, keep days in between it, dude. If you're gonna do it, keep days in between it, which is like, I don't know, I can't think of an analogy, but yeah, I couldn't do that.
So it
through
happened
3 days,
pretty
you're
fast
stuck.
for you, and you
Yeah, and it was a thing where it turned me into a person that was just disgusting, essentially, complete opposite of what I am now, which is, I have the good spiritual, mental hygiene for the most part. It just turned you into just a scumbag. You know what I mean? You do it 1, 2, 3 times, you're stuck. Because then you're just sick and go into withdrawal. So it was like this whole thing, man. It was bad.
you were taking it to feel better at some point,
yeah,
correct?
Yeah, not even at one point. It wasn't even to get high. It was just to feel better, to put myself on empty, off of empty. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that affecting stuff in the Warzone?
No, I had already. I think towards the end of Warzone, I might have like started, sniffing a few bags, something like that. But it didn't really come to like the level it came to.
Had you done coke before then, or any hard drugs?
Yeah, I've done coke before, like
before that,
when I was a teenager, but
yeah,
not in the way that I did it in Houston. It was like I'm looking around, and that Sicky Nicky guy, I think it's verbal abuse or whatever band he's from, verbal assault, verbal abuse. He's like, hey, have you done this? I'm like, no. And I tried it, and it was a wrap. That's when I see you. You're like, EK, why are your eyes so big? I'm like, I don't know.
That's when you tried it? Was on that tour with us?
Huh?
I was on the tour that you tried it on?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
For the first time?
For the first time in Houston, Texas.
Fuck.
Oh, my God. It was insane. It was so kooky, wacky that it shouldn't have been, it shouldn't have been real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should not have been real.
Wow, so you tried it on that tour.
Yeah, the first time to do it like that. And it was pretty heavy, man. It was like more than heavy. Then I kept going and going and going on the tour bus, and I'm walking out there with the big hole in my arm. Everyone's like, put a Band-Aid on that shit at least. I'm like, what? I was trying to come down, like hitting my bones were hurting so bad. It was a nightmare. Thank God I don't live like that today.
That was the new Titans tour, or no?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's the biggest tour that Cigarette has ever done.
Yeah, biggest tour I've ever done.
Yep. First bus, and you decide to try heroin.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
No, I did a little bit in Manhattan.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, the first time I tried to do coke in that way, like IVDA style. And, just...
Holy fuck, man.
Oh, it was so bad.
So then from there, it just kind of spiraled. Like you just...
Yeah, it was literally a downward spiral. Like from that moment on the tour, it was like, it's like, hey, the bus driver, hey, can you loan me a couple bucks? Like fucking, like that. Even looking at people in each city, like, yo, can you get... So it's real sketchy, trying to find things.
Damn.
Which puts me in situations anyway. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I remember the story about how you said that somebody broke into your house and stole your kick pedal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm not sure if someone's gonna rob his house and just take your kick pedal. But like, it got robbed out of the house, and I'm just like, I need you to buy me a new one. just shit like that, like. Just shit like that.
Who was I telling that story though? That it might have been Pete actually, because he's mailing me a book, and I was like, "Yeah, remember on 10th Street when someone so they were like, in hindsight, I thought it was so cool, and it was a good story. Like broke in, took the double kick pedal, and nothing else, and bounced. What an asshole! That was so like it was emphatic. I was like, "Yeah, man, yo, it was fucking happening."
And obviously, I think they knew, and they were looking out. Then looking out, they loved you. You know what I'm saying? Looking out for you.
Yeah, and they did. Like I said, they had my six the whole time.
Shh, do the podcast. There's more water, babe.
Oh no, I got one thing.
My wife always comes in during the podcast and does the dishes with some shit in the background. Stop, babe.
You. Naked Raygun. That was the other band on Caroline when we was on Caroline. Good band.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. You were in the same label as them, right?
Yeah, it was Naked Raygun, us, and Pumpkins at the time. And then Pumpkins went up to Virgin because they sold 1 million records in one day, obviously.
So I'm totally surprised. I didn't know that shit started on that tour. It's fucking crazy. Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's for lack of a better term, I don't want to say it came to fruition because that's kind of like kind of random, but it did. And it was a nightmare. Everything that happened on, mostly everything that happened.
It's a hard come down, I heard.
Oh yeah, it sucks. It's bad. Like, and then you're just sick. You don't feel good at all. Like, and then it has to keep going. Maybe you don't want to do it anymore, but you have to keep going to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
And you just turn into a scumbag and shit. Like stories about the kid trying pedal. Like, really? You fucking loser.
Looking back now, you laugh about back then. You're like, damn, this is fucked up.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Hindsight's clear. I'm like, damn, whatever.
And then we had no phones back then, but this is one of the most incredible stories that I've ever witnessed in my life. And there was a photo that Umbar, rest in peace, he was ready for cigarette.
There was a photo or two, right?
He passed away of a photo of what happened. So what happened was, what happened was EK, we had a hotel. Everybody's in the pool. EK bleached his hair, right? And he bleached his hair, and somehow, I mean, this is absolutely true. Somehow the bleaching fresh hair and jumping in a chlorine pool had a chemical reaction.
We got bus call, and then I decided to jump in the pool.
So it happened, this chemical reaction, and I'm not sure if you saw that movie Mask with Rocky. It was Rocky Dennis Mask.
Rocky Dennis, yes.
All of a sudden, man, EK's fucking whole entire head swells up. I swear on fucking edge.
I swear
his
to God,
whole
dude.
fucking head swells up, like bigger than his skull, and all of us are.
They don't know how to react.
We can't even look at him. We don't believe it's real. Like, and the Teddy Ito, whatever the manager, tour manager, whatever his name is.
That guy wearing the doinks.
He took a picture of his face. It was one.
Teddy, I think it was Teddy.
And so he has his hair all bleached, and his whole fucking face swells up. His neck swells up.
Oh, dude.
It doesn't even look like his face anymore.
No, like a completely different
deformed.
person. Like your eyes are swollen shut for the most part, and it's 108 degrees in fucking San Antonio to boot. It was, dude. It was crazy.
We were trying. We were so in shock because we knew we had to go to the hospital. We're trying not to laugh.
They're laughing at the same time.
At the same time, we're feeling so scared for this dude. It looks like his skull's gonna split out because his head's so big. It blew up his whole face. And then we're like, you look at somebody, don't want to laugh. You're like, is this real?
The best was Pete and Lou, and they were shaving the room, and I went in there and told the tour manager, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do about this, guys. And then Pete, they were like,
oh yeah, wait.
You gotta see their faces, dude.
We had a towel wrapped around his head. And then he said, you guys want to see this? He had this big hat on, and he peeled it off, and the hat was the size of his head.
Oh, my God.
It was so swollen up.
Oh, it was scared, insane. Man? Yo, I was really scared.
Your brain was going to fucking
because I was thinking, what if it gets a little bit more systemic? I mean, airway. That's the first thing you learn in being an EMT. And I'm like, oh, this better not happen. But what happened was I got to the hospital, and they gave me a steroid wean. They step you on steroids, and they shoot you in the arm with cortisone and prednisone. It started eventually. But we had to close a few shows, though, remember?
Cancel some shows.
Sepultura guys, this song goes out for EK, Elvis Pumpkinhead. Because they were cracking on me because I put my hair on the side like I do now, snapping. They're like, you look like Elvis. I'm like, what?
But like when you peel something off, it's going to be smaller, but it just stays.
No, it's the same size, dude.
Oh my God, go hospital. So the hospital said it was just a chemical reaction.
Oh, what a buzzkill. Yeah, pretty much. And I think I tried it recently. I think it's that hair dye. It's like it's something in it that doesn't agree with me, which is weird because when I was little punk rock, what's up, mama? I did it all the time, and it didn't. I was manic panic or whatever like that, and it was fine because you dye it bleach and then you put in whatever color you're gonna put in.
But the chlorine fucked it.
Yeah, and it was falling out. Remember, I went to get a haircut and I put the comb through. It was like clunk. He's like, "What the fuck?"
It was like fried.
No life to it at all.
Your hair's super thick.
Yeah, oh yeah.
By the way, you have a great hairline. Your hairline's always been good.
Thank you,
The one
Toby.
thing I noticed about you is when you were Warzone, I was like, damn, it's like a supermodel in Warzone. And then,
oh, thank you.
And then when I saw you at the Watch show, I was like, I remember you from the record, like your hair is all part. Like you always had like a style. Right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah.
And your hairline maintained.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm getting a baloney patch in the back. But
that's all right. Okay. But if there was a fucking photo or the internet back then.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Like it was just so.
There were a few photos, and Umbar R.I.P. had them.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to fork them over. He didn't want to fuck them up, but they were like Polaroids, and you're like, what?
He was saving them to blackmail you one day.
Yeah. They were going. P and Lou were like, damn, what did you go 10 rounds at Mike Tyson? Like, what happened to you? Like it looked like I ran into a wall head first.
I'll never not laugh thinking about that story because it was a very surreal moment. It was like you had movie makeup on.
Yeah. And these guys they didn't know how to react because they didn't want to start laughing and bum me out and shit. But they were like kind of serious. Like Toby's like looking at everything. He's like this. He's looking. He's looking at everything but my head, and it's really funny, dude. It was one of those things where it's a funny situation, but the funniest shit is people's reactions.
It was so fucked, man. I never seen a head look like that. I thought the skull exploded, but it was from the outside.
Oh, it was just all nasty.
You can't explain this, you see it, but think about his face on Rocky Dennis from Mask.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
Just the head so big, it was fucking crazy. So
I think we had to cancel 3 shows, and then we got back to normal.
So you think the band knew you were getting fucked up at that point?
Oh yeah. I mean. It got to the point where it started getting a lot of tension between me and Lou, so we were sort of just ignoring each other. But me and Pete are always really close.
Yeah.
Even when I got back from the tour and things didn't work out, he's like, "Go." I was going to rehearsal with Lester Jackson. He goes, "Dude, go over there, talk to him right now. Talk to your brother. And talk to my brother. Talks part of me." And I was like, "Nah, man, we just don't get along. We're not seeing eye." And then, I went to what did we rehearse back then? That place I forget what it was called. Austin Helmet rehearsed there.
Yeah, I know you're talking about
the Crazy Sound Man. That was like
that's a great studio in Manhattan, right?
Yeah, right in Manhattan.
Fuck, it's a famous bar.
It's on the west side, or whatever.
It is, yeah.
And then the short version of the long story is that it just didn't end up working out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't supposed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because look at now, Arman's an amazing guy. He's a great songwriter, and you know what I mean? He's bad. Those dudes are bad, dude.
Yeah,
they don't fuck around.
So what came after that? So after the band, were you super bummed when that ended?
Yes and no. Because even people knew that I was like leaning towards like playing some rock and roll shit, like listening to Temple of the Dog 80 times a day, like just I fell in love with that grunge shit just because of the I don't know what the word
was it part of the drug vibe too?
Yeah, the whole fatal like Andrew Wood from Love Bone dying of overdose, and I like kind of glamorized it.
It was a dark time.
Yeah, very dark time.
Okay,
I was in a dark place, but I thought it was a light place because I was getting high and it was like euphoric sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was in the tour bus one time and I was in my bunk and I couldn't kick the habit. I couldn't kick it, so I took all these Excedrin PM and was drinking Schlitz and shit, and I'm laying in my tour bus and it's like wood panel. Like whatever, like faux wood panel, and it turned into centipedes. Yeah, I was like, "Whoa!" Like I was like, "Man, what the hell am I gonna do? This ain't gonna work."
Wow, man!
I tried it several times to just do it cold turkey. I just couldn't last. I was a puss.
So did you go back to Boston after that too? You stayed in New York a couple of years.
No, I stayed in New York. I was like, my friend Gabby had this Lester Staxton thing that was just coming off the ground. Yep, I rehearsed with them for Miles played guitar and I played drums. I rehearsed with them a bunch of times and. It was good for me. I was just playing to a digital audio tape. Yeah. Just like.
We still getting high, just functioning.
Just functioning, still getting high, or whatever. Like I think Gabby knew, but didn't want to say anything because it was wicked. Like I don't know, it was just awkward. Yeah. So I did that for a while, and it was fun. It was fun, but I mean, I fucked it up just like I did Ticketall because of drugs. So then all this crazy shit happens. My girl passes away, and
she overdosed.
Yeah, she overdosed.
You found her and stuff?
No, I went to. I went to Boston to try to get sober and shit like that, and then she was still in Manhattan. I think, and then she came to visit me in Boston. She's like, "Okay, cool. Like, what's going on?" I'm like, "Cool." She looked like she was clean and sober and shit like that. And we had a good time in Boston. She went back to New York. She's like, "I'll call you Wednesday with the bus schedule." I'm like, "Word." Call never came. So we have this other mutual friend, Lynn. She's cool. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? I didn't call her, right? Lynn calls me. She's like, I have something to tell you. And she told me that she passed. And I was like, oh my God, I can't even describe the feeling. Yeah. I can't. It was, my heart fell out of my ass. Yeah. Like that was literally my first love too. Okay. When you're that young. Yeah. I was 18. She was like 23. Yeah. We went Avenue A and at A Street. She ran up to me and just started kissing me, like out of the blue.
That's how you met her?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm like, okay. It's just so fine.
Damn.
Oh, she was like,
did that make
so
you,
beautiful.
Did that snap you into reality? Maybe she quit?
Yeah. Well,
or make you go darker?
Yeah. It made me go darker. I'm going to be honest. Like shoot from the hip. I went darker till it was dark as I can get it. Like thank God I never overdosed on anything in my life. Thank God. But it got to the point where I went and used and drank for another 3-4 months after she passed, just because I couldn't feel the way I was feeling. It was disgusting.
You want to be numb.
And then something happened. It snapped in my eyes. It was November 13th of '92, and I was like, okay. I can't do this anymore. I'm really exhausted from doing this. My family won't talk to me. I'm selling on Avenue A, First Avenue, just like a drug with a watch, a fucking.
You were hustling streets like that.
Yeah, I was just selling my shit just because it was $10 bag just to get off empty. It's fucking terrible. And then I said fuck this, and I got sober. November 13th of '92. Yeah, for a long time.
My friend that was on, he talked about how he stole from his family, and that really realized.
Yeah, man.
Them, and that was like the harshest.
Dude, I can't even even talking about it makes me feel like teary eyed because I have like the coolest mom in the world. She had me when she was 15, like a baby having a baby, so we're really close. Yeah, we FaceTime earlier. She's always busting my chops, having a good time. I love her.
So she's been with you. She's a rock your whole life through all this shit.
Yeah, man. And I think about I'm so selfish. We're selfish as alcoholics and addicts, so we don't think of really what we're doing to other people. Yeah. Even if like you have a family member you don't get along, that's still going to be hurt because they're your family. Yeah. But by default, and it's like we're so selfish. We're so selfish. Mm. That's why for me, the drinking and using is only a symptom of the disease. Gotcha. of addiction, because I didn't do that shit because I was normal. You know what I mean? I have depression issues and things of that sort, and that's why. So. But if I can work on my mental, spiritual, and physical hygiene, then I have a fighting chance to survive in this world and like really spread the message and help other people out too.
Yeah, I love that.
It's all about being of service and helping another person too.
So from '92 to what you were sober?
2010. Yep.
Fuck.
Yep. All right. Coolest thing about that, it was 18 years. The not so cool thing about it is I went back to school and became an EMT for the city of Boston.
Yes.
And I had a psych patient hurt my back on a 911 call. The cops didn't show up yet, so it was just kind of like this crazy call. And
he hurt your back.
Yeah, he picked me up and threw me into we do what's called well-being checks with Boston Police. And, say, your family member calls me. Yeah, I haven't seen Toby in 4 or 5 days. Can you guys go check on him? Like, they don't know. They're in another city or whatever. So that's what we do. Usually us and the cops get there at the same time, but we got there at the same time. And my inside voice is telling me something's really weird. My partner just got out of the academy, brand new. He just kind of froze up. And the dude's like, I looked away for 1 minute. I can't remember what he said, but he literally, one of them like 7th grade scoops. Like, scoop me up, man.
Yeah.
And he had a crackhead energy. He was up in his apartment, smoking crack and not being med compliant, taking a psych meds for 4 days. Threw me into this bookshelf. My back just cracked the fuck up. I could feel it. I was like, this is not good. This is not good. So
you were sober? They were going to check on him?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
man.
It was like literally my 18th year. And so the short version is I got the pain meds after the surgery, and I did them accordingly with my sponsor. Okay, we're gonna do it this way, this way, this way until I don't know, 2 weeks in, I was screaming, ripping around in the streets like a crazy person, and it was worse.
Off the edge.
Yeah, it was worse than when I was 22. Because all that these are lying in your tummy, and he wakes up and he's twice as ferocious. He's in remission. These don't go away.
Yeah,
these don't go away. I'm still, whatever. I don't say it to the point where it fucks up my self-esteem, because that's whack. A lot of people do that, but I say it to the point where keeping it real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This is it's all about, like, being this way and having a lending helping hand. You know what I mean.
So you're 18. You were 18 years sober, and then
all it took was a back surgery.
Lost your job as EMS, probably.
I did. 2010 to 2015 was just a blur. I moved back to Brooklyn for a couple years and doing diabetes. That didn't work out because I was just putting it all on my arm, essentially.
So you started. So you weren't shooting it back then. But
Yeah, no, I was shooting it a little bit back then.
Okay,
like just a little bit towards the end. That scared me. That's why I got clean.
But now you're shooting it hardcore.
full on.
Fuck,
dude.
man.
I remember I got this apartment. And my credit was whack, and the dude's like, their Civics, she was like really, really cool. He's like, I said, I'll pay my rent for 6 months if you want. And they're like, no, how about a year? I was like, no, 6 months. But they gave it to me, man. It was cool. It was Jefferson Ave, pretty cool place. It's like one of those railroad apartments. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Like, you have to, it's a living room, and then you got to walk through another one to another door. It's like some New York City. You've been there,
for sure,
obviously.
Yeah.
So I went through that for a while for 6 months, and I managed to just, lose about 40, 50 pounds in that 6 months and put it all on my arm, essentially, just to be point blank.
Wow.
Yep.
And how are you making money? How are you surviving during that?
Something happened with a comp settlement.
Oh, for you.
Because of my back, yeah. But that was that, and that was it. And it's gone. It was gone. Like,
so you get hurt, and then you start taking pain pills for the pain.
Yep.
And that triggers you to be doing heroin.
Yep.
And then you get money because you got hurt.
Yep.
And you spend all that on heroin.
Yep.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Fuck,
that's
man.
like perfect way you put it.
That's fucking crazy.
That's point
man.
blank. Yeah, man. And it was that from 2010 to 15, it was such a blur. Like, I didn't even want to get clean sober. I'd go into to do this called a spin dry and detox, and you like and you come out 7 days later, you're like, oh, I put on 4 pounds. Dinner time. Oh, dude, I was spin drying probably about 13, 14 detoxes in sober houses in that time.
In 5 years.
Just going to a sober house so I can get a roof over my head and just shoot dope, and then it get kicked out. Hey, go to another one, because they're all over the place now, and they have flop. Some of them are flop too. They don't even check your urine and shit like that. So it's like perfect, you know what I mean? But yeah, so then in 2015, what happened was I was exhausted again, and I put together 2 years. I started playing with this shitty hardcore band from Rhode Island. So I moved to Rhode Island, held hostage, they were called. Just I wanted to be in the band again. I wanted to do this, you know what I mean? And it was like, let's do this. And
so you moved to Rhode Island?
Yeah, it was like living in the bucket. They call it Pawtucket.
Pawtucket, I know Pawtucket.
Yeah, Pawtucket.
I lived in Newport, Rhode Island too. After
that's right. Yeah, Newport.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, I was playing music. I was having
sober?
a good time. Yeah, sober. And then what happened was I have this aunt who's like my mother's youngest sister. We're a month apart in age.
Okay.
Her name's Georgie. And it's crazy. My family's weird. And then she was into doing heavy drugs with her girlfriend. She's a lesbian. I was like, I didn't even know she was into doing that. Like, we had a little beef, so we weren't talking, kind of.
Yeah.
And suddenly my mother gives me a call. She's like, you sitting down? I'm like, what? I had no idea. She was like, Georgie passed away. Like, and I was like, she was like really like my sister, more so than my sister.
Okay.
We were connected at the hip.
Yeah.
We're connected at the hip. She knew when she was 15. She liked girls. She's like, I like the box. I'm coming out. I was like, yeah, word. Like, she wasn't on this. I'm doing it for trendy. Oh my God, you're beautiful.
Still loves EK right now.
Right.
She's staring at her.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
So she passed away.
Yeah, and
that triggered something.
Yeah, I didn't have the onions to stay clean, so so I relapsed after 2 years, and then I was like ripping and running. Poor me, why me? Poor me, why me? Poor me, why me? Poor me, why me? It was terrible, and that lasted like another. Like a year or two, maybe two, and
so
then
that's up to 2014.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this was 15. She died 17.
Okay.
I was sober from 15 to 17.
Okay.
15 to 17.
That's right.
And January 7th. And so I started ripping and running. I think probably 18, a little bit into 18. Then I put together another 11 months. I was in Cape Cod, and I was like, cool. But then relapsed again. And I was like, I need a fucking change, man.
I remember talking to you through all that, like when you were
remember?
in Cape Cod. Man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was rough, dude. It was a rough hit.
So then,
rough
you had
hit.
2 years, and then you fell off again. What made you fall off again? You think?
Just my being a pussy because I didn't want to feel the emotions I'm feeling. Like, oh my god, poor me. I gotta do dope so I don't feel this way. I mean, just like be a nodding out and watching fucking sci-fi and like doing. It's called a baby neck.
Yeah.
Just
Who were you living with out there? You had friends out there?
When in Pawtucket, I was just living alone.
Damn.
Yeah, I had a place. I had this friend I knew, this old punk rock girl from Boston. Like she was 14, 15. She owned the house with her husband. And they weren't talking. He's like a booze bag or whatever like that. And she's just random, like a little friend that worked at Whole Foods. And I had the top. She gave me the whole top floor. It was like 2 rooms and a bathroom, half a bath, and it was like $700.
Nice.
I was like, I can do that.
And you have money saved from that whole thing?
Yeah. Plus I saved when I was a paramedic, so I got like a car and things of that sort. Because when you're punk rock, you really don't give a shit about like that.
You don't think about future.
No, especially living in New York. Like you don't want a car in New York anyway. It's probably problematic.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just like, you know what? I gotta at least have some regular adult shit, like a car or something like that. I had to do things like that just so I could feel part of society. But then I didn't really care about society. I just wanted to just get high. So that's when I came out here. I go Josh Lazy. He runs this thing called Sea Change. You know Lazy? Yeah, that's right. He has this rehab called Sea Change, and he's literally his. Like he's been there. Like he relapsed after 18 years too, and came back. Now he's got 12 actually, and he put me on a 3-way with the intake guys. Like, why don't you come out here right now? I'm like, no, I gotta do some more drugs. Like I did. I went to detox, came out again, but then there's this place called Music Cares. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
It's incredible. It saved a bunch of my friends.
Yep.
Shout out to Music Cares. Man.
Yeah, shout out to Music Cares. I love you all. Like, what's her name?
They look out for
Jolene. I forget. She was such a
take
sweetheart.
care of musicians, man.
So this is the short version. This is what happened. I went to see what would happen. I had to fill out a 12-page application to get into there.
Yep. My friend did too.
And I don't know how I did it. I was jammed the whole time, but I did it. Went to detox again. And something told me, so I wanted to check my email. So I asked my counselor, hey, can I check my email? I check it. And they were like, yo, what do you call it? Approved you. Get your ass out of here. Music Cares approved you. Get your ass out of here. So I kicked so I wouldn't be sick on the plane. 7 days sober. I got on the plane, flew right into LAX, went to Santa Monica. And all this changed, you know what I mean? A lot. But I don't know. It sounds kind of corny, but when that plane landed, man, something happened to my stomach, like in a good way.
When the plane landed here?
Yeah. I can't.
Maybe you felt safe or like away from,
I felt safe for some weird reason. I know Josh, he wasn't going to throw me in the bus,
Yeah.
It did really, they paid for like.
You were in good hands.
Yeah. They paid for like, my boy Jesse was there too. He's like a tech for all Big Beck and all these people. These are really good guys from Newton. And he's the one that kind of got me out of there. And then I did like 60 days there, I think they paid for. So there's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's my friends too. Covered everything. Flew
Isn't that
changed his life, man.
Yeah, changed my life in this place. Yep. I felt so grateful, and it was a really, really amazing experience. And then I went there, and then I went from there to like a sober house, which is like not a lot of structure, but enough structure just so you're gonna be accountable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like just so you can just do your thing and not just be like, well, I want to go drink or
and that was out here,
smoke
right?
weed. Yeah, that was in South Bay, Redondo.
Yep.
And then I was like, my boy needed a roommate down in Culver City, and I was like, you know what? Let me get out of here for a minute. Let me check out the West Side. It's like that's the West Side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and
nice there.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. The apartment was like he was just an animal, disgusting to live with. Like, oh, I'm so open my mouth just fucking talking about it.
You might listen to this, so.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
Let them listen.
So now, how long sober?
This is coming up on. Let me see, 7 or 8. It was 7 or 8. It was when did I land? So yeah, coming up on 7 or 8 months, I think.
Sober.
Yeah, just for being
you
here.
did something before you flew. You kicked before you flew out here, correct?
Yeah, I didn't want to be on a plane like sick and or whatever like that.
Well, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, isn't it?
Congratulations.
So, yeah. And then and I started hooking up with you guys, like seeing you guys. Like I went to the Cigarette show. I saw you. I saw everybody, man. I was like, oh my God, BJ.
Yep.
Mike Gitter's out here.
Yep.
And I got my crew.
A lot of East Coasters out here, man.
Yeah, my boys that live in Long Beach. My friend has the Eastern Standard. My friend Kevin. He played bass in Mad with Bandy's doing the Eulogy.
Yep. Shout out to Eulogy. Yeah.
Eye for an Eye. He played in.
Yep.
Shouts out to Eulogy. And also
good band.
my friend Doug, who has a kickboxing gym called.
Doug's the best, dude.
Yeah, Long Beach United. It's called.
The best. Doug just took care of us with some boxing stuff in the gym for my son. Man.
Really? Yeah. Isn't he
good people, man?
What an amazing guy. Shout out to Doug. Good egg, dude. It's like
Long
serious
Beach boxing, man.
Those are those friends where you're like, it's automatic. You know what I mean?
You have to see him for many years to talk to him. As soon as you see him, it's on.
It was like, damn, it's on. And that's just a great feeling to know that, like, because we're human beings. We live for forging relationships. Yeah. That's what we do, man. That's what we do that because we like to stay alive and feel alive.
100%.
You know? And so to forge something and still have them, A, it says a lot about your character that you're not really that much of a scumbag. And B, it just shows that, you know, you're deep. You know, not Jocko Stowe deep, but deep. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, it's been a really, really, really good time on here
You've had a long, insane journey of a life, man.
Oh, God, yeah. I know. I like this. This is a little interview here. It sounded, you're like getting me on, what's it called? Like the timing. It just went from like 13 all the way up till now, you know?
That's my whole point. It's
it's really well done.
It's a therapeutic journey of your life. This is your life.
Dude. So wait, are you embracing 50?
I love 50.
You do? I'm not embracing yet. I'm going to be honest. I can't believe it. Thank you.
It's a fucking number, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
You're a fucking survivor, dude.
I know.
It doesn't matter, bro. This is a new chapter of your life, man.
That's the way to put it. And I actually started putting pen to paper, writing my autobiography, believe it or not. And I'm like, I don't know, 100 something pages in, and it's really therapeutic. You know, it's really, really cool. Yeah. And I just think some people might want to read it. Actually,
of course.
It's just because
the story right here he told us, they help a lot of people, man.
Yeah, it's just crazy, you know. Mm-hmm. And if there's any I know other alcoholics and addicts out there that are listening right now, you know, stick and stay, guys. I know this epidemic.
Stick and stay.
Yeah, stick and stay. This pandemic's been a pain in the ass for all of us. You know, get to Zoom meetings, do some guided meditation, talk to your sponsor every day, like check in with them. I do that, you know, just to keep me real.
Yeah.
And just remind myself, you know what I mean? This dog is so cute, man. She's lovely. Yeah. Stella.
Love. On a lighter note, I want to take it back just a little for a second about the Warzone style, man. Like, I know some people were skins, some weren't. There was this thing when I moved to New York where, like, in DC, you see, like, the skins, boots, and braces. But in New York, it was, like, sneaker skins, like high top, Air Maxes, Air Force Ones.
Air Max 90s.
And then you guys with the white hoodies. And the white sweatpants, like the outfit and the stances, like on Open Your Eyes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, even on Agent Core, the back, like Mackie with his fucking raccoon hat, like the B-boy.
Yeah, the raccoon.
OG graffiti writer. Shout out to
Agent Core. Yeah.
Close friends, graffiti. Yeah. B-boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so he was like B-boy. Yeah, totally.
That was your whole style too, because you were a breakdancer, you graffiti.
Yep.
But just that whole look of the Warzone shit was fucking.
It was weird because when I just got into Warzone, though, I could tell Jay and Paul, like amazing guys. They were like kind of like heavy metal before. I could tell. Like they're like, you know, Iron Maiden, like playing it like Steve Harris shit like that. I'm like, cool. So then with the fact that I was like B-boy, but they were like kind of into that, man. Yeah. They're like, dude, you fit in this band. You know, Raid and Studio Word. I don't know how that thing goes, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like Mackie too. He's the B-boy in the house.
Yeah. We used to, me, Mackie and I met. That's only the person in my life that I actually, 6 months I worked with him. Like he worked with me over at Westpath. He'd be like, can you do this? And I'm like, no. He's like, leave me in the room until I could do it. Damn. That's his way of teaching. So yeah,
that was man.
Yeah, I shout out to Mackie. I mean, I miss him. I wish he would let me up when he was out here. You know, stuff like that.
But just the Warzone style, I mean, like,
crazy, right?
The vibe of everything.
It's almost borderline like coined that whole shit. Mm-hmm. Like you said, skinhead B-boy
with sneakers. I call them sneaker skins.
Sneaker skins.
I don't know if that's a term, but like
I go sneaker sharp sneaker skins. You know what I mean?
Instead of boots, you had some high top fucking Ewing.
They had high tops and shit. I always rocked the low top.
Air Force Ones. You had the Air Maxes.
Air Maxes. You remember that?
Yeah.
We were me and you were always into sneakers, man.
Always doing sneakers.
I had those. Yeah, we had that Air Span I got with Toy. You're like, oh shit, he came. Where do you get those? Air Span? I didn't even heard of that shit. We were like sneaker junkies too. It was so much.
Sneakers and like good haircuts.
Yeah, good haircuts. Yep.
On the slick back, all that shit.
God. Yeah, you had a good haircut too, man. That was awesome. It's a cut right here. Like we call it the bell head because it's like right here. Me, Kenny Citron. Shout out to Kenny Citron.
With the live, hitting the live in NYC, but I had that slick back with that shit. Like
Murray's a go-go all day, every day. Murray's. I buy it in bulk. Once I was on Avenue A and I was walking with Kamal. You know Kamal from Jerky Boys.
Jerky Boys, yeah.
And I was like, yo, wait a minute, Kamal. I got to run in here and get something. He's like, no, I'll come in with you. It was that drugstore that's right next to Alcatraz on Avenue A. Remember that? I know it was small.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, like Hole in the Wall Steez. And I went in there and I was like, I just got to grab some. He's like, what? And I picked up the Murray's can. He goes, what the hell is this? He could not stop laughing, dude. Like his stomach was like hurt. He was laughing so hard. He's like, what the fuck is this thing? People, afros and shit on it. He's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "That's the only thing that works on my hair."
Anybody listening, man? If you're in the hardcore scene in the '90s, man.
Yeah.
My whole band, Murray's was a shit.
Murray's.
Slick backs.
The orange can. I mean, they have New Nile and Dax too. Dax has a red can.
Yeah.
And New Nile's good for like a short hair, flat top and shit.
Yeah.
But when you're gonna do slick, they just gotta Murray's, man. It's the jam.
For some people, it's too thick and it pull your fucking hair out too.
Yeah, it is really thick. You gotta like. Now I just a little down by doing
rubbing
your
your hands
style.
to get warm and shit put in your hair.
Yeah, you got them almost like someone was doing it with their hands and they lit on fire. So it just like got really, really melted.
People are going to see when I post a photo of me and EK, but this guy looks really good for his age.
Thank
you.
you.
Like the same person he did when I met him back then.
Thank you. Yeah, you look the same too.
Always have a great smile. The hairline's perfect. He always has a fucking...
Thank you, Toby.
I'm jocking this dude's hair
Damn,
so hard
day made,
right
week made, y'all.
But
you look the same too,
with
dude.
The fly gear,
Same with Derek.
With the fly gear back then, though.
Yeah, I was always into like the
that was the b-boy party.
mixing and matching with the like b-boy / anti-fashion statement. Fred Perry with like whatever. Like these shorts, I don't even think they're fucking Boy Scout shirts. Really, it says Boy Scout on them. What the hell am I thinking?
Were you a big hip hop fan too?
Oh God, yeah, man. Especially when it came to the drums. Tribe Called Quest all day, every day.
Yes.
De La. Shout out to Dante. All that like Ultramagnetic MCs.
We talked about them yesterday.
Remember D? Off the hook. And then did they have Sally? Were they the ones who did Sally? Well, there's Larry. You had about Sally.
Do you like the 90s like Wu-Tang, Gangstar, Mobb
I
Deep?
love Gangstar.
Best,
Boston
man.
heads, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Guru.
Guru, man, he just has a cool style. Premier Off the Hook. Like his voice is like, it's like Q-Tip. Like he sounds like he's supposed to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's supposed to do when he came out of the womb.
Perfect voice.
Period.
Man.
End of story. You know what I mean? Like Q-Tip's like, I can't do it, but it's just like perfect. Low end theory.
There was a Boston group out there was Ed OG and the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Oh shit, a Boogaloo. Yeah. How do you remember? That's so random.
That was my shit.
That DJ I went to high school with me actually, Cruz, named Cruz, a light skinned dude. And they had a stunt, I must a bugaboo. I'm bugging me, I'm bugging you, I'm bugging bugaboo. I'm bugging you.
Good, man.
That was so cool.
LOG,
he had a cool look too,
yeah.
LOG, man.
That video was big though. I got to have it. I still watched it on the box.
Yeah, remember that? Mm-hmm. Damn, man. That's going back. They got big for a minute. It's just from like a band from Boston.
You're kind of like, in a sense, like, Guru moved from Boston to New York.
Yeah.
And made it out there.
Yeah, he did.
Joined the bands.
That's what happened. He moved to New York and just blew the fuck up. Him and Premier. I think Premier's still doing shit with people. Because his DJing is just next fucking level. You know what I mean?
I came from Massachusetts to New York, but I went through Maryland and Rhode Island first. But still.
Yeah. So I initially thought when I didn't know I thought you were from DC. Like he's from DC. He's a DC hardcore kid. I'm like, cool, man. It's Fred.
Taunton to Newport to Maryland, outside of DC, then to New York. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a little.
Yeah.
Nice. What made you move to there from Newport? Moved to.
My mom had a job in an apartment complex. Complex was apartments.
Oh, so you did like same with my mom. We moved. She moved. We moved.
Jobs.
She was a paramedic. She was the EMT with.
Oh, your mom was too. Just
yeah,
like
she
you.
did it for 30 years as a single mom.
Damn.
Yeah, she was one of the first women EMTs in Boston. Period.
That, man.
Yeah, she couldn't believe it because it was right after Planes hit, and I was like, you know what? I'm exhausted from being in bands anyway, man. I was probably been like 28, 30 something bands at that point, literally from 13 to 31. And I was like, I just wasn't feeling New York, man. It was like New York got its balls cut off or something. It was fucking weird. Remember that vibe in New York after?
I was here. I was out here though.
Oh my God, it was so weird. And then I was like, you know what? Let me do something. Let me try to go to school, see if I can handle school real quick. So I went back to Boston. I enrolled. Yeah. I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know if I could be able to do it.
It was education. Real quick.
If I didn't have attention span of like Baby Otter. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I went in, I did it, I hooked it up, and then I was better at school this time and when I was 30, 31 than I was when I was a kid. I just retained information better and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I worked really, really, really hard to get my badge with Boston EMS. It was fucking tough, man.
So you ever want to go back and do EMS stuff? Can you do that out here if you want?
No, if anything, I would maybe do some radio stuff. You know what I mean? If anything came, I still got to get like a certain certification for that though. But I don't know. It's kind of ran its course.
Okay.
It's like a different kind of stress. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm delivering a baby. I'm just got shot like several times. You know what's bizarre though, Toby? I don't have any PTSD from that. Zero. I have it from when I was a kid in violence at home.
I think you've been through a lot.
Yeah. To that point. I'm like, yo, dog, put your arm over here. I got you.
But I'm saying you've seen a lot before that, man.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think of that.
Your whole life fucking has you ready for that.
Yeah, wonder why it didn't really bother me.
Enough trauma.
My skin was thick and it made my skin thicker.
That would have been a perfect gig for you. That's crazy.
It was nuts, man. Because it was weird. Like 2-3 years into it, I'm like, gee, I guess I'm not doing music anymore. I just like abandoned that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If like 10 years out of the music business, it's like 30. just because of how everything, the turnover rate and A&R people, like all this shit. So I was like, oh man. And then when that shit happened, I was like, well, I can't really do EMT anymore, so I want to go back to playing drums. And that's when all the strung out shit in 10 to 15, and then they put together all what I have now to present day. And now I have some dope ass drums on my patio, and I'm looking at them in cases. I can't even play them yet. Yeah. We had a little band with Chris Vitale and his 2 LA dudes, pretty cool. But
what are you doing now for living?
I believe it or not, I do session stuff. Okay. I just it's hard. Like those guys, like Josh and them, like Josh, like if he can't do anything, he'll throw it at me. Like that's him with Mackie did that for years. And I did one 3 weeks ago for Ford Motor Company, so that'll pay the rent for a minute. And every 13
drum stuff for it.
Yeah, just I did click track to like it was like some Oasis. It was like Oasis style. It was easy.
What, commercial or something?
Yeah, TV commercial.
Sick.
And it was I did it in 3.5 hours. It was one. I don't want to tell the price, but it was good money. And then what happened after that is every 13 weeks you get it's called a residual cycle. After 13 weeks, it's not like a royalty. It's different.
Yeah.
So that I just been doing that as a float for. I mean,
great, man.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens enough where I know how to manage my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just like live at the grocery shop and do things accordingly, like I did in New York when you have corned beef hash and eggs.
Do you miss the East Coast at all?
A little bit. I posted something about that recently. I kind of did a little bit just because good pizza and good Chinese food and just the vibe we have on East Coast. Like, D, you're from Cleveland, right? Yeah. Look, the kid remembered these old trees. I remember. Oh man.
Shout out to Cleveland.
Did you live with Charlie?
But I moved to New York with Charlie.
Oh, you did?
Cleveland.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So we moved together to New York.
Yeah.
And started a band.
Oh, no shit.
And then I met you in New York when I was still working, I think, at Fat Farm.
Yeah, I remember that Fat Farm. Yep. The Russell Simmons shit.
I needed a drummer too for
Oh,
something.
I totally remember that.
But I remember you were also friends with Dana.
Yeah.
And
Dana the girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Bensonhurst?
Yeah.
I think it's his wife now, right?
No, she lives in like Hawaii.
Oh, she does? The real like gorgeous one? Like disturbingly gorgeous one? Yeah.
She played guitar.
Oh, okay. Oh no, Dana Ong.
Dana, yeah.
She's from Hawaii. She's back now, and she played in Slaughter Shack really good with Colin. Yep, yeah, Colin. That dude can sing for a little dude.
Like, oh yeah, they're from Boston. That's how they
yeah.
I met you.
Because I didn't know she moved to New York. She moved to New York after me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a small world.
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy how music does that, man.
That's how we connected through her, I think.
Yeah.
Because we're like, I need a drummer.
I just remember we were in the park, front of Thompson Square Park, and you were like, I was like, this dude's mad cool. Yeah, I was like, damn, he's real nice, down to earth and shit. I like that.
Yeah, Derek worked at the Fat Farm on Prince Street in Soho, and I worked across the street at Nana Shoes.
Oh, that's right. You worked at Nana with my crazy friend James.
Yeah.
I heard he's like stemming for change and homeless now, the poor prick.
Oh, man.
That's too bad, yeah.
That sucks.
It's the glass stick.
Damn,
too bad.
Man.
I know.
Yeah, so we worked across each other before we really doing.
Before we even knew each other?
No, we knew each other, but just like.
Really?
And then you worked at some other places where Antonio was at. Shout out to Antonio.
Antonio Ball.
Z-Bar. And then you worked at Beauty Bar where Moon worked.
Well, what do you call it? He was playing with Ian Love before I started playing with Ian Love.
Who was?
Antonio.
Okay, yeah.
He's a bass player. And then actually randomly enough, I played with Murphy's Law for like a month, but I just never played out with them. I was like, he's like, yo, let's do this. They're going to Japan, EK. Let's do this, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay. And I just, for some reason, I learned everything. And Todd would come in. God rest his soul. I miss him so much. Shout out to Todd Youth.
Todd Youth, rest in peace.
He would come in and like just like I would just play like I played all the time. I always wanted to play it. Offspring. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Oops, my bad.
Murphy's Law did it first.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
but that didn't come to fruition. But he ended up playing WBA with them. I think he did go to Japan with them, and then his whole thing took off after that. It's really cool. I'm proud of him too. I haven't seen him yet out here, but I like
Todd Morse, make those royalties happen. You're in Offspring now with Murphy's Law. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, right.
And on that subject,
Todd Morse.
So
hook it up.
So now you're in California.
Mm-hmm. It's been literally a year. I moved here August 8th of last year. And I'm starting to feel it. Getting acclimated is not easy. I'm sure you guys know.
It took me like a year.
Yeah, you really, because some people are like, yo, it's gonna take 3 years. Yo, it's gonna take 2 years. Yeah, I was like, man, you must move slow, because my shit's on point. You know what I mean? But now, actually, I do. The funny is you should say a year because I feel a little bit more comfortable now.
Yeah, man.
Like
the drive in the space, the spread out, everything.
It's like
it's a different vibe.
The social thing's weird. Like if you're gonna hook up with someone, like if we make lunch plans, it's gonna take 3 months for that to happen. Just by default.
An hour to get there when you live like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, no one wants to travel now. I'm like, I don't care. I'll do wheelies. I love driving.
Do you have any regrets in your life right now at this point in life?
I have to say, for the most part, no. But the regrets, they fall along the lines of what happened with my soul and body with addiction. But at the same time, though, I kind of don't regret it because it made me such a strong person.
It's exactly what
my
man Mike just said on this earlier today. Exactly, I made him strong. I had no regrets. Everything he'd been through made him who he is today.
Yeah, everything I don't even say it. Everything I've been through made me who I am today. I know it sounds kind of corny. Just like I tattooed here the other day. It's like, I am not what I've done. I've been what I overcome.
It's awesome, man.
You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Overcoming. But at the same time, doing it for yourself, and you're like, cool. But you're not like, check me out. I'm so like, patting yourself on the back. Like, you have to have humility, man.
Yeah.
You have to have like straight up humility. And like I said, help another alcoholic addict. Help. It's all about being of service.
Is it still a struggle?
No.
Wow.
I'd be honest, because here's the thing.
You had no hesitation with that answer.
This is emphatic. There's a thing called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay. Essentially what you do is you play the tape out in your brain. Like, if I'm going to make a decision right now, if I want to go now and go back, I'm not just going to do it because it's going to happen. So I play the tape, like, what's going to happen? Okay, I get it. Maybe get Jam Sammy for a few days. Maybe get another bag. Maybe Jam Sammy for like a week. After a week, I'm sick, so I have to do it. So now I have a habit, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And at the end, it's not going to end well, no matter what.
What does Jammy Sammy mean?
Like jam sandwich. Like jammed. I know. I got my own language. Sorry, guys.
Your own. I just want to say one thing about EK. He's always had his own thing. He's like, hey, you flippy dippy snippy. Yeah. Like, you've always had your own like slang and swag.
I know, and it's like gotten worse as I got older too.
It like it's nothing, but you just said Jammy Sammy. Please explain that to me. I want to know where this shit's coming from.
Oh shit!
But first, sorry, after like 20 years, you're like, hey, what's up, flippy dick motherfucker?
You're real serious too. Like, you just said Jamie Sammy.
I love that. I just want to know what it means because you have your own language and you're a fast talker like me.
Yeah, Jamie Sammy. Yeah, we get along. We got right off the rip because we got that.
Yeah,
like it's like timing and cadence.
It is crazy.
It's really well.
So, do you have any daily rituals?
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I'm not a super religious person, but I'm definitely spiritual.
Yeah.
And I don't get on my knees and pray. Probably a lot of alcoholics do that, and that's their jammy, but I don't do it. I just shut my eyes and I meditate at least 15, 20 minutes a day. Awesome. I'm saying I do it every day. I take days off because I'm a donkey. But when I do it, it's guided meditation, and you're just like, dude, it feels like you're not even in your body. It took me a while to do it.
My wife does it
because I'm so hyperactive.
Trans.
Yeah, I forget the long one, but trans.
I think I want to try. I heard it's really amazing.
Dude,
man.
Once you like get it down to where you can kind of train your brain to do what it's supposed to do. Because my brain had to slow down at first, and it didn't really work out that well.
Always going, always showing your mind.
Always. So it took a couple of months, but when I got used to it, it was like a complete next level. Like it's almost like you reset all the bullshit.
That started out here.
Yeah. When I even being sober before, I never really meditated or anything. Mm-hmm. I had a really cool guy, my friend Daniel Ahern. Shout out to Daniel Ahern. He's a Buddhist. And he kind of got me into that whole way of thinking. I wasn't, obviously Buddhist, but that whole way of thinking and just, like I said, like the emotional, spiritual, and physical hygiene.
Okay.
Like he uses terms like that. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so on point. You know what I mean? You don't have to say anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I try to do that. And if it doesn't happen, then it's not the end of the world. And I also like to cook my own food.
Awesome. Derek's been cooking a lot.
Yeah, man. And I'm not like, like you guys vegans and all that shit. That's fucking dope. I love that. But I eat like chicken and shit like that. I
hear you.
Yeah. I like to cook. It's like the creative outlet for me as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I do at least do that every night because just it smells good.
That's therapeutic too, making your own food.
It is. I was just going to say that.
If you're single.
Yep.
And Derek's single. Well, he's not single, but he lives here. Derek's single, but he's by himself. No, he's by himself. He's by himself.
Damn, shots fired at Toby's.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Derek's by himself.
Sorry, my bad.
Derek's by himself in California. I'm saying, so he's cooking for himself.
Yeah.
Now he's on a juice cleanse. I was just on one. But like just making meals, learning how to cook more. That's cool. You know what I mean?
It is. I'm super.
I'll make it better. Shout out to Highway to Health. Derek's new show coming out with him, and he travels around.
Nice.
And
really?
Cooking and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very therapeutic.
That's awesome, dude. Oh, that's so neat. I can't wait to see
Highway to Health.
Yeah, Highway
It's a great name, man.
Nice.
This is do you have like a top 5
in terms of
music or inspirations?
Wow, that's a really good question.
I'm curious because I just heard one before this and it was very interesting.
How about each genre?
Sure.
All right, we'll do rock and roll. AC/DC right off the rip.
Sick.
Phil Rudd, ill drummer, nasty drummer, disgusting. He's fucking good.
What a gross motherfucker.
Yeah, he's gross. Dude, you suck. You're so good. You suck. Hip hop or whatever rap, what they call it now, is definitely Tribe Called Quest, and we always had that connection.
Love Tribe, the best.
Always, we were like just
one of the greatest.
saying quotes to each other and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we had New Balance sneakers too. What a narrow path. Like Five Dogs is really cool.
Best,
R.I.P.
man.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
And then I would say
I never
jazz.
half step because not a half stepper. Drink a lot of soda because
They call me Dr. Pepper.
All right, so go ahead.
That's what's up. Yep. I like to tell your mother, tell your father, telegram. That shit is funny. But I'd say this one's pretty easy for me to jazz. It's John Coltrane, Giant Steps,
Awesome.
that record. I've liked that record since like a youngster, where you wouldn't think a youngster would listen to jazz.
Yeah.
But it just took me to another place, like I really wanted it to.
It's awesome.
And what else? I say trip hop. I'd say that's not a new genre. Portishead
Great.
from the
great.
90s. From the
Great
90s.
artist.
And another rock band, and it's kind of the guilty pleasure, is more of the pop instead of rock. Rock City DC, Oasis.
Great band. Great songwriters, everything.
Those guys, I seen them at the Ritz, like to beat the shit out of each other, like backstage.
Wow.
He got Knowles, the singer. No, Knowles, the songwriter, right? His brother was hitting Liam, hitting him with a tambourine and shit.
Damn.
And I was with Petey Hines. When we were Petey Hines from the drummer, we were like, "What the fuck's going on here?"
Holy shit.
Homeboy ended up leaving Liam, and then Noel came out and did the rest of the set by himself, unplugged.
Damn.
Really? Like really, dude?
Wow.
Oh my god.
Super talented brothers.
Yeah, he just killed it, man. Just him and the guitar and lights.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Oh, I'd love to meet him someday.
And then what about punk rock or hardcore band?
I'd say
It's a hard
hardcore.
one.
No, Mighty Threat.
Sick. Perfect. Me too.
Because they were like literally the first hardcore band I met. And I was like,
Perfect.
how do they play that fast? What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the songs really made sense, even though I wasn't sure, but like it really, really made sense to me.
Resonated
And
with
then I'll
you,
even
yeah.
throw a little Dag Nasty in there.
Great.
Preferably Can I Say.
Great.
This
Perfect
other
album.
ones are good, but Can I Say is next level, man. That there wasn't a record that came out that sounded like that back then. That guitar sound.
Yeah.
Like what?
Brian Baker shit.
Yeah,
Killed it.
dog, what a savage. Love that
Beast.
dude. So good.
The question is Midnight Marauders or Low End Theory?
Low End Theory.
All right, cool.
Yep.
That's great too, though.
Because they're both head and the neck to neck. I would have
know.
to say, but you know, Midnight Marauders has Midnight Marauders a jam or whatever, and has a bunch of really cool stuff on it. But I think, in the sense of a full album, where like Siamese Dream, where like every song is, it's an album. It's a full album. There's no
Yeah.
filler or no shit like that in
Yeah.
there. So Low End Theory is like that. Every single song is
Bangers.
supposed to be there. Bangers. It's not
Perfect.
like, let's just throw this shit in there, like on Seaside or whatever.
They never
you know?
had any filler on the record. Yeah.
Nah,
That's great,
man. And then I guess towards the Love Movement, it got a little weird. I'd have to say.
Yeah.
But I was still good though. Still quality.
Great, man.
Yeah.
You ever seen that doc?
I did with
incredible.
Michael
My
Rappaport,
boy
right?
did it, yeah,
Yeah,
he
that was
killed that,
so
man.
good.
Yeah,
I love
man.
that dude. He's funny as shit, Michael
Yeah, he's the
Rappaport.
best, man. He's a
he goes on a
wild cat.
tangent. I'm like, he's in Brooklyn, right?
No, he's out here.
Yeah, but he's from Brooklyn, I think.
No, New York. It's Manhattan.
Oh, Manhattan?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
That's fucking funny, man.
See, that only I would know that, like, you say New York, and then like if it was someone else, you'd have to say Manhattan.
Yeah.
You just say New York, and I assume it's the borough of Manhattan. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Isn't it right? Yeah.
I know the answer to this question. You consider yourself a pessimist or optimist? Are
let's
you a
see.
realist in between? That's what my wife calls herself.
I'd have to say a realist. That's shout out to Moon. That's some shit right there. For real, no, it's applicable. Like I have to say, optimist. I'm a little. It's kind of wishy-washy answer, but I'm like 50-50 with those.
Yeah.
And it's very like Then I have this thing called the hell is it? It's like realism, like your wife's saying.
Yeah.
And also like you just don't know what's gonna happen to you next in life. So take it 1 minute at a time, and also don't be a wet blanket. Like wear life like a loose garment. That sounds so corny, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you move with t-shirt and jeans is kind of different than like Armani and something like that. Like it's really, really cool. And just, keep like, if you can help someone, don't hurt them.
Yeah.
Just don't, because it's going to make you feel disgusting inside, and it's going to hurt that person no matter what, if it's verbal or whatever, you know what I mean? So help people out. And also just, like have an outlook of like, it's a little bit of a pessimist and a little bit of an optimist. No, this is the one I was trying to talk about though. Empathy. I'm so, is it empathic? Is that the word? That like, it's almost like, hurts me more than it helps me. Cause you could tell, like we're talking here right now and you're like, a different body language and you say something and there's an inflection. I'm like, that's a dig, or not. You could pick up stuff so much, like good and bad, that it's like it's really not cool. I'm glad that I have empathy and I could just like feel, like, you know, and I love my feels now. I call them the feels.
Yeah.
Because I have to be able to feel them with no half stepping. Because the minute I half step, I'm gonna try to use drugs to stuff those feels that I'm feeling. So you gotta feel them, even though you don't want to feel it. Feel that shit out, man. Sometimes it's not gonna be that way forever.
Yeah, sometimes
you know what I mean?
Like I feel too much. Like they let the world get up. Like,
yeah, true.
Oh,
Casey,
where you going, babe? Yeah, but we come back before sundown.
Oh yeah, where is he? Where's your kid? I like him.
He's coming back in a second. He's
cool.
with their friends.
Yeah, he's really cool. I dig him. That's what, because I hadn't seen you for years until the Middle East.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen you in years. I seen you walking. I was like, I'm gonna get a dude and a hug, man. It was so cool.
That was a fun show.
My eyes lit up like a 6-year-old. You know, like a carnival.
I had to share the garage. There's a nice drum set out there. My son's in the studio.
Oh, nice, nice.
How far away are they, Mom? They're doing a photo shoot right now.
Oh, she is?
No, my son's band.
Oh, okay, good. Oh yeah, what are they called?
Rend.
Cool. They playing out and shit.
They play out. They put songs
when
out.
we were playing out.
Wait, they're doing live streams in my garage, and they played shows.
We had our band had our first show booked March 14th, and then the shit hit, and it took us 6 months to get to that point because we're all older and shit.
What's the band called?
It was called The Last Day, but it's whack. Okay. I convinced him to change it. I'm gonna call it I want to call it Kill the Ghost.
It's a cool name, yeah.
Kind of random. Cutting edge, but not too cutting edge.
I like random shit.
Yeah, it's you know, you can't kill a ghost. They're already dead. Oh, look at me, I'm crazy.
Shocking.
Living on the edge.
Well, shit, man. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your friendship. It was great to reconnect with you.
I'm so glad that we did this again.
We did it in person. Way better.
Yeah, the phone one wasn't.
Nah.
Nearly.
I like to see you and feel the energy.
Yeah, that doesn't touch this one. I can't wait to hear
it. Makes it I don't know, just you get more, I don't know, more feelings and more connection.
Yeah, more feels.
More
like you said, inflection. Like when when I'm talking real, because you could feel that shit.
100%.
You know, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. You know what I mean?
I can see your face and your expressions.
Yeah, and there's this whole thing too with people. Like I would rather someone tell me something that I really don't like or care for and be honest than be like, yeah, blowing smoke on my ass and give me a hug and lying.
Yeah,
that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It's like having a spine or being a jellyfish. You know, you got to have a spine. Or else I won't get along with you.
I love that. Welcome to California. I'm happy you're sober.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Toby.
And
good to see you. Good to see you, Derek.
I'm glad you're alive and you're here. You've been through a lot of shit, man.
I know. I'm really glad I made it.
And you've made a lot of great music and stuff that people love and inspires people.
Yeah,
albums you've been on.
Yeah, at times I forget that really because I don't roll like that. Like I'm a confident person, but not cocky.
Yeah,
and I forget that. Actually, the first time I met that. Ranted dude that do Lars was Coney Island High, and he's like grilling me and like staring at me, and I didn't know who he was. They weren't big yet, and I walked up to him. I'm like, "Yo, dude, what's going on? Do I owe you money? Some shit? Why are you grilling me?" He's like, "Didn't you play on We Stand Alone? Your name's Zeke, right?" I was like, "Whoosh!"
That's awesome.
It was flattering. At the same time, I was like,
man.
"Oh, what a dick! Why am I gonna fight this dude? Like, whatever." You know what I mean? It was really, really random. But it ended up working out. I ended up meeting him a few times. Nice guy.
Yeah, great guys. They love big part of the New York family, man.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, don't underestimate the stuff you put out there in the world.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I forget, and it's almost, I do forget. It's almost cool when someone goes, "Hey, I really like that what you did." They're being like, "Yo, check me out." Like, yeah, my name's EK. I used to be in, you know what I mean? It's such a whack style, man.
Of course.
Such a whack style.
Well, I'm glad I still don't really know your last name after this conversation.
Komst. Komst. It sounds like it has a P in it.
I mean, Komst sounds like a cool tag name.
Yeah, Komst. Yeah, right?
It could be, yeah.
Komst, rocking you live in 85.
Can you still breakdance at all?
Maybe a little bit, but I can't now with my back.
I'll go get a piece of cardboard.
No,
in my garage. I'll fucking battle you in my garage.
Now with my back, I'd probably embarrass myself.
2 50-year-olds in my fucking hot ass garage right now. What about skateboarding? No skating for you?
I used to love skating, like being a street skater. I couldn't really do vert for the life of me, but ollies and
what kind
power
of board,
slides.
What kind of board you skated?
My first board was Santa Cruz Slasher.
Fucking
and
sick.
Dope, dude. And it wasn't even brand new. It was like a dude had it for a couple of weeks, and Dan Esterberg, I think he was sponsored or whatever, so he just gave it to me, and I was like, word. I'm like skating in like moccasins and shit. I don't know what the fuck is doing. I'm such a donkey. And then after that, Alva Street Fire, which is dope because that tail, whap up. Oh,
almost every single person's
sliding.
podcast had skated, and I didn't know they skated. You know what I mean? Like I was just on Hoyer's podcast in Madball.
Really?
He skated. He was telling me what a quarter pipe he had.
Really? No shit.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, you would know it. I don't really ever talk about it.
Yeah.
I kept hurting my wrists a little bit when I tried it, so I was like, I gotta pick the drums. I'm not.
What's your best trick?
Probably backside boneless, and then I do sweepers.
That's one of my favorite backside.
I would just do a copley square. It's like these crazy statues that are like this, like squared. Like I would pull the sweeper, snap the board of my hand, jump up there, and fucking come down. It's right on the wood. Like sweeper, it's simple, but it's dope. It makes you look like you don't really know what you're doing. People like,
does.
whoa.
Especially you swag it out, make it look really cool.
Yeah,
or
swag it
stall
out.
or
Like,
swing it up.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
It's pretty basic, but yeah.
Basic ollies, power slide like a motherfucker, boy. We would do it, take mushrooms and take acid and shit. No, mushrooms and drink vodka. And we have someone down at the bottom of the hill. It's actually where the Real World House was in the the Boston Real House, Small World. And like, all right, come on, let's go. Right, so you just stop bombing, but sometimes the car might be coming real quick, so you got to tap power slide. Those OJ2s, I think they were.
OJ2s?
Yeah, OJ2s. They were like Grello, not really green, not really yellow.
Yeah.
Like that color.
Yeah, Hoy just told me he had OJ's, Thunder Trucks. I forgot what board he had.
Oh, yeah, OJ's, Thunder Trucks.
Yeah.
What were the other ones? Something ball?
Tracker Trucks are my favorite tracker.
Tracker. I like independent.
Yeah.
Independent. Like 169s.
Did you have a favorite skater?
It was probably Tony Hawk. I like Neil Blender was cool.
Neil Blender's sick.
Yeah, and they used to have, remember those
shredders.
videos they show and motherfuckers in LA just bombing down hills, like
Yeah,
old school,
San
whatever.
Francisco, those hills,
Oh
yeah.
my God, who else? Obviously Tony Hawk.
So you'd watch those videos, Bones Brigade and all that
Oh
shit?
yeah, then they had Target videos, and it'll be like Bad Brains, like music playing in the background, and it'll be like Bad Brains, and then like Black Flag with like Dez or some shit, like random. They were called Target videos. Really cool, man. I was like, this is really really neat. Wow. Wow, this is fucking crazy, man. Because it's just even back then, that's like '85.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I had just discovered punk rock, pretty much. I was like, holy shit, this
punk
is
rock
cool.
and skateboarding around the same time for me too.
They were definitely
it was hand in hand with those soundtracks.
Synonymous or whatever, or symbiotic.
But the skate rock and the Bones Brigades and all the Youth Brigade was Youth Brigade in the car the other day. It's such a great record.
Oh man, they at one time in Boston they had the youth bands. So it's Youth Today, Youth Brigade, Reagan Youth, God Bless Dave.
All together?
Dave?
They played
yeah,
together?
Yeah, it was the youth show. I know, it's crazy, right?
Was it a youth center?
No, it was at the Rat Scale, closed. I think a youth center.
Yo,
right over my head.
Yo,
I'm like, no, dude, it was at the Rat.
Yo, the Rat was great. Played many shows.
Yo, isn't it cool?
Yeah, man.
I saw Dag Nasty there. It was one of my first shows after Black Flag, and people were just like crawling on the ceiling, just like laying for pipes and everything. It was sick. I didn't know that Dave Smalley was already a Boston hardcore guy.
Yeah.
I had no idea because he had white on white high top Air Force, and he's like, yeah, people don't know about these, and I was like, what's that? Some DC shit? I didn't get it, and he'd already been in
rocking the high top Air Force One.
Yeah, it's white on white too, man.
Sick. Uptowns. Feel reprimand.
To be
promised. What I had inside. What you
inside.
Such a perfect album, man.
Yeah.
Perfect album.
That's another one where every song is just amazing.
Even to this day, I listen to it, I get goosebumps and think about those times.
You know,
I heard this.
You nailed it. You like looked away because you knew you were nailing it. You're like, man.
It's hard to give. It's hard to get.
Funny.
And once you lost it, it's
I got
always
this shit
gone.
fun. Oh my God. I look in the mirror.
All right, well, great talking to you. Thanks for being here. I love you. Happy
I love
to
you too, Toby.
Welcome to Cali. You look
Thank
wonderful.
you so much.
Hairline's
I had a
on point.
Really good time. Yeah.
Always
Thank
have a
God.
great smile.
Thank you. Thank
You know
you.
what's crazy for all the shit you've been through? You have perfect teeth. I know. Are those real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little suspensey.
It's okay.
They like drill in like what do they call implants?
I had HR on my podcast, and I gave him a compliment on my podcast.
I got to do the bottom, and I'll be all
I
set.
said, HR, I said, dude, you for all the microphone slam and all the shit you've done and your whole life playing, your teeth are so perfect. And his wife grabbed the mic. She goes, they're fake. I was like, damn. But his smile is still
Took
fucking
him out.
great.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, but he has such a beautiful smile.
He's like,
man.
I ain't die.
No, he's the fucking best.
Does he live around here in
No,
Venice?
he's East Coast.
Oh, so he's not here?
No, I agree. He was out a while ago. He's a great.
Hey,
human.
you know whatever happened to Israel?
I'm not sure. The guy that played on that record. I'm not sure.
And
man.
I Rise. He was on
Yeah,
Rise,
Rise.
and I reached out to him and left.
I was in that
message.
video, man. Great. Shout out to Mackie.
Really?
Yeah, he was singing.
I would love to get something going with him, man. That would be insane. So just so you guys know,
Shout out to
this
HR,
is
love
this
you,
is
man.
not on the Lolo anymore. But when this pandemic starts, Warzone are going to be doing shows.
Oh shit!
You're hearing it from me right now. Yep.
First and foremost on this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. First
Really?
time ever. One life,
Wow.
one chance.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be ill. Probably start across the pond.
Actually, I was gonna say Toas who's playing. I don't want to know who the lineup is. I don't want to.
Yeah,
know.
you don't want to know.
I
You'll
want to
like
be surprised.
it. Yeah, you want to be surprised. Yep.
I really be surprised.
That's the third person who said that. I was like, I'm not gonna tell you.
Is it all the records or just?
We figure out what we're gonna do for a set, but it's all Warzone members
Okay.
from like my era to the '90s era.
Sick.
So
That's
it's like
incredible
not
news.
just some random person playing bass.
Of
Like that.
course,
It's
of
all
course.
Warzone members, and it took it a while. I've been trying to do this for years, man.
Yeah.
And it was weird because Ray was passed away, and then it was weird because Todd. But not for nothing, but Ray and Todd would want us to carry the message.
Yeah.
Point blank, they would want this band to carry the message.
It's awesome, man.
And I just know they would. So, and homage to them and to, people who like our music. It's going to be really cool.
So next year, whenever you play shows.
Yeah, whenever 2023, I don't know, whenever it stops.
2029, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
probably
news,
play
man.
across the
Keep
pond
listening.
and get tight a little bit and then come back here or vice versa. I don't know. We'll see.
All the members on the East Coast?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
That's all. No more guessing.
Yeah, no more.
All right, thank you. Where can people find your what's your gram? People could find you, follow, and see what you're up to.
Instagram is at EK War of It All. That's original, right?
That's perfect. Your other one was Sark. It was like 1,000 K.
Yeah, it was stupid.
EK War of It All.
It was whack. It was whack.
EK War of It All.
Yeah, at War of It All. Come follow me. Come hang out. I get a little random with the selfies, but I don't care. I look good, so I don't give a fuck.
Can people buy Warzone merch now anywhere or no?
Yeah, on Revelation.
Okay.
Revelation 2 is all up merch. Open your eyes and don't forget Stroll, don't forget Streets. Sweatshirts, T-shirts, pins. Get it all there. Yeah.
Awesome, EK.
Yep.
Love you, bro. Welcome to Cali.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next one.